How can we create an AI agent with long-term memory and storage? Well, we have this project here by Joseph Lepage called it Show. It's the AI agent chatbot, except we can find this in templates, open it, search for it, and it'll appear. Basically, what this project does, though I don't have the APIs set up, is that we send it a message we want to process through artificial intelligence, an AI that, thanks to its memory, already has a database based on previous responses or even on the storage we've provided. As you can see, there are two storage points. We send the message, which then combines with long-term or rather long-form notes, which are basically stored in this case in a Google Docs document. You can change this to whatever you prefer as long as it's a text file. But Google Docs works well, and it also stores notes separately. What's the difference between the two? Well, essentially, the long-term memory would be information the AI agent needs to know permanently, like if the user works with Zelda, HTML, or XLSX, for example, or if the user prefers concise, indirect responses without explanations, and so on. Things that are more permanent. On the other hand, notes would be important information about the user, but more temporary, like this Saturday at 8 p.m. I have a meeting. Once it's no longer Saturday at 8 p.m., storing that info becomes useless, so we don't need to store it permanently. Then these two inputs are sent to a merge, which basically combines them directly in append mode, placing one after the other. And then we pass through an aggregate that puts all the data in a list, outputs it in data format, and finally sends it to a model. As you can see, the GPT-4 or mini model is currently connected here, but we could remove it and connect DeepSeek v3 if we prefer a cheaper option, as this works for GPT, DeepSeek, and any other model. Then we have an option, which you can see is marked as optional, to save the chat we just had in memory, which would be separate from the memory we created. It's more of an internal memory provided by N8N, storing the last 50 messages, with code to save each received message. Finally, we have a tool to save long-term memories and notes. Here we can see how it's set to text format, inserting at the end of memory, which is important, and likely does the same for other notes. It's set to set manually with simplify on to streamline saved responses. And that's it, it'll give us the answer. To interact with this LLM, click here in the chat, type your message, and if all APIs are set up, it'll work without any issues.